I'm terribly excited. I have Thomas, master chocolatier from Limp, joining me in the kitchen today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. What are we cooking?
We are going to make one of my favourite recipes. This is actually a flourless chocolate cake.
Can I tell you, Thomas, I'm excited because it looks quite easy.
Not many ingredients,
Yes,
no.
so this is good for me. Show me what to do.
Okay,
please.
It starts with like a base of butter and sugar. So I'm just going to cream this up together. The important thing is probably just to have the butter at room temperature. That just goes a long way, just sort of making this creamy. And then we add the sugar to it. And what I like to use for this as well is unrefined raw caster sugar. So I find it just has a little bit more of a caramel kind of flavour to it. It's sort of a beautiful note that actually works really quite well in baking.
Okay.
So we just cream this up. And this will just take a while. So there's no baking agent in this cake whatsoever. So the only thing that gives this cake lift is the air that we put in here, and then what we actually put into the egg whites as well. So we make a nice and fluffy egg white. And while I do this, I might get you to whip up the egg whites, please. So we just have 5 eggs separated, and a good pinch of salt in there always helps the egg white a little bit as well. And then we just need to really fluff this up.
Okay.
That looks amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
Great whipping.
My biceps had a real workout there.
It's all part of the recipe. So in here, the butter and sugar are just one by one. We add the egg yolks to this mixture as well. And that just sort of helps it one by one, 2 by 1.
2 by 2.
It just sort of helps.
Go
Like if you
flow.
put all the egg yolks in at once, it might just sort of not be able to sort of incorporate them, and it starts to look a little bit curdled. Even if it does, it's not going to be the end of the world, but just little by little is probably the best thing. See how they nicely incorporate.
Yes. Thomas, I'm loving this because you're using almond meal.
That's right.
So this makes this a flourless, like you've said, cake, hence
Yes.
the name, but it's friendly for celiacs.
Absolutely, yeah. So nut meals are great for recipes like that. And if you're not too fond, because almonds are relatively mild in flavour, but if you love hazelnuts, you can use hazelnut meal as well. So that works just as well. So that's all ready to go. And then I just get onto the chocolate part of this as well. So we basically don't have to melt any chocolate to go into this recipe. So we put it all in really finely grated. So we have 225 grams of 70% excellence that we actually use for this.
A lot of chocolate is what I hear, and it sounds glorious.
The more the better, I think.
The more the better.
And the good thing with this, so it's really easy. You can also do this in a machine to sort of chop it up, but something like a fine grater is absolutely perfect. And then that, as you can see, there's quite a bit of chocolate going in here.
I think I'd use the machine though, because the biceps already sore from this, so I think I'd preserve
exercise
it. Yes.
as well while you're
Well,
doing
you're earning the
cooking.
chocolate cake, aren't
That's
you?
right. There we go. There's the last bit of chocolate going in, and we're ready to go. So we got all those bits together, and then what I'll do, chocolate goes straight in here with our butter and sugar mixture.
Wonderful.
Then the almond can come in.
Okay, here we go.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. So I'm envisioning this to be quite light because of the almond meal.
Yes, absolutely. And then all the hard work that you've done with the egg whites, so that's what actually going to make that chocolate sort of relatively light. And then I have a little bit of an exotic ingredient that I'm going to add into it as well. So this is the tonka bean.
Yes.
Have a little smell of this.
It's quite unusual.
Completely optional, but it's really elegant sort of flavour. It's sort of marzipan-y, vanilla, a little bit of almond sort of flavour, but it's actually quite strong. So it's almost like the truffle of the pastry world. So we just put like a little bit of a grind into that. There we go. And then I think we're ready for your beautiful egg whites.
Glorious egg whites.
Let's put that in, and then I gently fold this in. I might switch over to a bit of a spatula as well. And so we just put this all together. And then it goes into a lined spring form. Then we put it in the oven for 180 degrees, about 35 minutes. We have a look at it.
I'm looking forward to this.
Excellent. Then a good tip as well is because a cake always will start to rise from the centre. So bring it up just a touch higher on the side and have a little dent in the centre. So more chance of getting a flatter cake in there, but it doesn't really matter.
Little pro tip, thank you.
There we go.
Into the oven.
Little tap, and then it's off in the oven.
Thomas, that cake looks great.
Absolutely. Now, of course, you can decorate this cake whichever way that you like, but I think edible flowers are beautiful.
What a beautiful touch.
So we can just put a few right across the top. Would you like to try a piece?
I would.
Excellent.
Please.
Let's get into it. I think always a chocolate cake needs to look good inside. So let's take a nice big slice out for you. And then to serve it, a nice bit of ice cream would work, or a little bit of yogurt, actually just sort of something creamy to just sort of break through the chocolatiness as well.
I love this, Thomas. You're using yogurt.
Something nice and creamy just to sort of cut through.
It's a little healthy alternative.
Dollop
I
of
don't mind it at all.
Just a dollop of natural yogurt. Absolutely beautiful.
Wonderful idea.
Couple more flowers on top, and then I think I'm ready for you to give it a try.
She waits with bated breath. That's a fork for you.
Thank you. Enjoy.
I'm so excited.
So it's nice and chocolatey, rich but not too rich. You get the almond flavour and just that little hum of the tonka in the back as well.
It is a hum, and that almond milk gives it a beautiful texture. Absolutely love it. And Thomas, I'm giving that a go at home.
I'm looking forward to seeing the results.